Hey everyone! Alright, welcome to Let's Play Eye of the Beholder. Part 1, actual part 1. We had 2 parts that were getting ready to play Eye of the Beholder since we had to, well, we didn't have to, but I wanted to ask who wanted to be in the adventuring group. We had quite a few volunteers, the dice have been cast, the volunteers have been chosen, and now it is time to create the party. Before we do that, or as I click this, so we get some background music going along with my voice, thank you again everyone who volunteered. I really wish I could take all of you with me into this game, but the game only lets me take 4 people. So I always feel bad that there has to be people who don't make the cut, but do not worry because I plan to play other games of this sort. And so if you didn't make the cut for this game series, you will likely be in another one, assuming that you would like to be in those ones as well. And I will just assume that if I saw your name here, that you would like to be in the other games as well, or any a future game of this sort that I play. I plan on playing through Star Crawlers at some point in the future, and there's another game which has caught my eye, which is called Conglomerate 451, which is also at this futuristic post-apocalyptic setting, if I recall correctly. I might be firing up Legend of Grimrock again, either the first or second one, so we can have a group there too. But if I don't fire up Grimrock, I might, well, I can hate play Pool of Radiance with a group of aspiring adventurers there as well. So we will eventually get all of you into your roles, as it were. Alright, so let's go ahead and start making the characters. So first up, I have to Alt-Tab so I can reach this. We have Scavvy, who won the fighter. And I have you, Scavvy Oko, as a human fighter neutral alignment. So let's go ahead and make you. It's really loud. I hope it's not... I hope my voice is coming out well with the volume of the game. I think it is. This, to my recollection, is the only time there's any music playing, I think, in the game as well. Eye of the Beholder 2 had a few instances when music plays during the game itself, especially when Kelvin Blackstaff, how do I remember his name, reaches out to you to contact you a few times in the game setting. But this game, I think this is the only time music plays, maybe at the very end credits as well. In any case, you said a fighter, so fighter it is. You want it to be neutral. So you don't have a, like, chaotic or other alignment in front of you, so I'll make you lawful neutral. And I do not see that you wanted any particular portrait. God, I want to make sure I get this absolutely right, though. I didn't write down that you wanted a portrait, but let me make absolutely sure by going back to my video to make sure that was indeed the case, because I'm super paranoid if I get something wrong. Oh, Dennis, you responded, you left a comment on Hollow Knight. I have to go and read that comment. Okay, hold on. I'm getting distracted. Here's a video. Okay, and Scavvy, where are you in my comments? I haven't responded to. Alright, where are you in here? This is very professional. We're keeping it all on screen. Okay, yep, no portrait recommendation. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and... this is I like this portrait, so we're probably going to go with that one, unless I see a different one that catches my fancy. Okay, none of the others really catch my fancy, so let's go ahead and give you this face. Okay, and... Okay, so how this is going to work when it comes to statistics. So we're going to go to Modify immediately. And I'm going to lower all these stats. Oh, they don't go below 9? No, they go below 9. Strength can't... Oh, Strength can't go below 9. Because the second edition does it in Dragons, you can't have lower than a 9 Strength. Okay. So my plan is to lower all of your stats to 9. And then, I have 46 points to place in your stats to level them as I see fit. And only one stat can be an 18. 2 stats can't be. So let's go ahead and start. So for strength, we're going to go ahead and make that at least a 17 to start. Realistically, as a pure fighter, you probably... Maybe 2 stats could be 18. As a fighter, you should have an 18/something strength. So that is 9 points out of the 46. And then every 10th point was supposed to be another point. We'll go with every 2 is one more. So that would be 10. 11. Let's give you 67. So 12. So 12 points put into your strength score. That leaves us with 34 points left. So let's give you at least a 15 here. So that's 34. Actually, these are supposed to be 7, Tim. That's what you originally wrote down. Ugh. Make them 8. You'll be happy there. All right, fine. Sorry. When I saw I couldn't lower strength to 9, I thought I had an easy excuse to say they're all 9s. No, I wrote 8s for all of these. Okay, so one more time. So strength 18 would be 10 points. And this is an extra 1, 2, 3? 4 if I go 67. We'll do it. So that's 14. So you have 32 points left. So if I do this, that's 25 left. That would be 18 left. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, there's your character, sir. Let's go ahead and give you max hit points. Everyone gets max hit points for their start. I may farm hit point level ups, which is to say that if you level up and I don't like the hit point that you gained, like if you gain 4 hit points, I might reload in order to try that again and see if the game rolls higher for you. I have no problem doing that, but we'll talk about the rules of the game when we actually get into the game. I haven't written anything down, so I'm kind of playing it by the seat of my pants here. But I do have some rules I would like to put in place as we play this game. Alright, so here you are, Scabby. Let's go ahead and click OK. And we're keeping this. Scabby. Oh man, all caps for our character names. And it looks like we're going to be limited in the amount of characters we're allowed as well. Next up is Alexander, who wanted to be a dwarf, a cleric. Dwarf male. I'm gonna make you a fighter cleric, Alexander. Because, well, then again, you did just say cleric. So as a cleric, you are limited to level 10. As a fighter cleric, your fighter levels can still go higher, which means that you will steadily be slowly improving. So I'm going to make you a fighter cleric. Is that right, Tim? Take a look at where you put him. Yes, that's acceptable. Everyone else wanted to be a thief who didn't fit the role of fighter, a pure fighter. Okay, so we're going to make you a fighter cleric. And we're going to make you a dwarf, which I selected that, right? 1 second. I did. Okay, fighter cleric. And chaotic neutral was your alignment. Oh, the do anything you want at any time alignment. The psychopath alignment is what I usually refer to it as. I always try to steer my players away from chaotic neutral because it lets them get away with too much stuff. And generally, I like running more good aligned campaigns. Chaotic neutral is so in my campaign worlds, I usually let people be lawful evil as long as they will go along with generally what the party wants. When I've been Dungeon Master for all my years in the past. I've roleplayed a few evil campaigns, I think 3 of them, and I hated every one of them. It feels so unnatural to me to play evil characters because I have to design the adventurers different to motivate them differently. since they're not motivated purely on kindness and will need more than just a reward often. And they want power and everything else like that. And every single one of those evil campaigns ended after the first adventure never completed because the party tore itself to shreds. Almost every single time. Alright, we need a face for you. And it's going to have a long beard. So it's going to be this, maybe that dwarf. Look at this guy. Look at that guy's beard. That's the longest beard so far. We're gonna go with him, I think. Actually, isn't there I thought there was like a really jovial-looking guy with a big beard. He's not here. I thought there was oh, this guy. He doesn't have a long beard. So, no for him. This is the most important part of any role-playing game, everyone, is picking writing down your character's description. This is why you should tell me what you want, rather than having me try to pick for you. Okay. How can I say no to that nose? Done. Okay. And as before, we modify. I lower any score I can to 8. Wow, you can't have less than a 12 constitution. Okay. You know, I feel like I cheated a bit with Scabby. Can I... Well, let me finish making this guy. I'll see if I can remodify this one. So I should really consider all these to start at 8s, and these are just one more point placing these skills. So that's 1. So that's, what's this? 45, 44... 40 points placed so far. 41, 42... No, stop. 39, 38, 37, 36. 35. 34, 33, 32, 31, 30, 39. No, 29, 28, 27. 26, 25. Nope. 20, oh my god! Help! 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nothing. I have to... So, okay, let me talk about this too. So, realistically, given the type of game we're going to play, there is no reason for me to put any points in anything that's not a combat stat. Charisma? I don't think anyone cares about charisma in this game setting at all. Not even a tiny bit. They don't care. Why on earth would they care? It's not like there's a whole lot of role-playing going in a grid-based first-person real-time dungeon-crawling game. There isn't. There just isn't. And to my recollection, no choices really depend upon, like, your character's intelligence or charisma or anything of that sort. They don't come into play at all, to my recollection. But I have a bad habit, and I hate dump stats, so I don't want to leave anything as, like, 8. So we're gonna go with this as your final score, but well, actually, we're not. I want your dex being 1 lower than that. So I'm sorry, 1 higher than this. I can't do it. We're gonna go with this as a score. I know that's a shame because a dex of 14 doesn't adjust your armor class, whereas a 15 does. But you're also a dwarf, so thematically, I guess it makes more sense that you would have a 14 than a 15. So we'll go with this. I hate knowing I'm 1 point away from a dex of 15, but I'm not gonna take it. That's so awkward keeping it. All right, so Alexander. What a great name. Alexander! I get it! That's a good name for a dwarf. It fits it perfectly well. I'd have to delete him to remake him. So, your character has like, I think, was it 1? 1 more point or 2 more points than he normally would have had, Scabby. It'll be okay. I'm sure we all can live with it. All right, so next up is... I like to stay home. I like to stay home. You said you wanted to be a cleric mage. So a cleric mage can only be chosen by a half-elf, to my recollection. So half-elf it is. Cleric mage. Yep, I think the half-elf again is the only class that can be a cleric mage. And for alignment, did you tell me what alignment you wanted? Nope, you did not. All right, I'd like to stay home. So we'll make you neutral good. Make you neutral good. And you did not give me a face to work with, but you are a half-elf. And since you're a mage, I should probably look to have you be... We can go with that guy. Sure, go with this guy. And then we do the whole modify thing again. Oh my god, I forgot we start at level 2 if we're combined class. It'll be fine. It'll have to be. Alright, everything gets lowered to the lowest level it can be, which is 9 for a few of these. Oh, so the lowest level it can be. It's 8s. It goes to 8s. Okay, so that's 2 points off, so we have 44 points left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 42, 43, 44, 45. I think I counted incorrectly. I think I have 2 points too many. So I'm going to lower two of these. Do I want you to be cute, or do you want you to have a more hit points to survive? Realistically, there's no question. It should be Constitution. But this is me we're talking about. I'm going to leave you with all 17s here, by the way, and not give you an 18 in any of these. You sure, Tim? You sure about that? Yeah, I'm sure about that. Let's do that. Actually, I'm not sure about that. We'll give you 18 here, and we'll lower this by 1. Oh, Tim, that's painful. He'll be fine, or he'll die horribly. Okay, so here we go. Here's your character. We'll keep him. And I'd say home, you want to be Rokvas. That's a good name for him, too. Yeah, I get free adventuring character names from you guys to use in my own campaigns that sound amazing. This is great. It takes me sometimes hours to come up with a name, so I like having being able to sneak in some work from you guys on that regard. Thank you all for once again volunteering your names for your characters. This is amazing. And Damien Reloaded. Kokor Hekkus is the name of your mage thief. Can we be you didn't give me, according to my notes, I do not have a race for you. Let me make double sure of this. Half-elf. Okay, you did. Half-elf male. Okay, so half-elf. Mage thief. Thief mage, apparently. We will give you... Oh, I think I saw the alignment askance there, too. Yeah, you did say fighter mage thief. You did tell me you wanted that, so... Then Alexander should be a pure cleric. I really want you to level quicker. I really want you to level quicker, which is why I only want you to be a mage thief. Damien Reloaded. what's the levels you start in if I say fighter, mage, thief? If I do this, 1, 1, 2. Oh, it's got to be a mage thief for you, Damien. It has to be a mage thief. I shouldn't even give you the option. I'm so sorry, but we're going to make you a mage thief. It's going to be so tough for you to contribute to the group at level 1, and we're going to be thrown into the thick of things sooner rather than later. So we're going to make you a mage thief, a thief mage. And did you tell me a lot? Let's make sure we get everything else right, Tim. If you're going to go ahead and overrule this guy, this is awful, Tim. Let's see here. No alignment given. Okay, so then we'll make you chaotic good. The best alignment. The alignment I make all my characters. Basically, screw the law. Do what's best for everybody, which is a bit of a... That's a anarchist position. A good... someone who would believe that people would do the right thing for other people, which I don't actually think would be the case, but we'll go with that. I guess we'll give you the gritty guy look here with the blonde half-elf this time. And now we, as before, lower everything to 8s that I'm allowed to. I don't think I'll be allowed. Yep, can't lower dex at all. Okay, and now it's time to spend those points. We have 2 points already spent. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Alright, now this does mean you won't ever be able to cast 9th level spells. I think. A 17 intelligence limits you to 8th level spells. But I don't think you're going to reach a high enough level where that would be a concern. And if it is, well... I'm doing this anyway. So let's go ahead and do this. I feel a little guilty having 2 mages with both having 18 intelligence, especially because I'm going to want my... Oh! You know what you should do, actually, Tim? Since you are going to limit his intelligence, you should make him then an even better thief. So... I guess you're going to sacrifice looks for plus... Oh! I can't actually rate your dex to 19. Only elves can go that high. Pure elves. Okay, well, this is it then. Let's keep them. Can I get Kokor? I can't get Kokor Hekis in here, the whole... I'm hitting all sorts of wrong buttons, so now my recording has stopped. How do I get rid of that S? Kokor Hex? And we'll just know it's Hekis. Okay, so but now that I had the problems with the recording, I need to go check on the recording really quick. So give me a few seconds, I'll be right back. Alright guys, I lost a few seconds there at the end of trying to get Kokor Hex name in. Kokor Hekis, or rather Damien Reloaded, I apologize, I cannot fit Hekis in. We can go with this is why your elf looks so angry, because he had to shorten his name to fit it on the application form. It's okay. We all know that Kokor Hex stands for Kokor Hekis, and of course we will all forget it immediately 10 minutes from now, which is why your elf will look like the way he looks for the entire series, as everyone forgets his actual last name. Right, so before we hit play, there's a few more things I want to cover. I'm going to have a few house rules for this LP. Number 1, I'm allowed to save the game as often as I like, but I am only, barring HP farming, allowed to reload twice per episode. This means that if I begin losing people, and I've already reloaded the game, they're going to remain dead until I find someone to re-resurrect them. And I think that that can happen on the Dwarven Halls. I think there's a cleric there who can do that for you. But oh, I think you also lose 1 constitution permanently from your stat if we resurrect you. And I think it might be a chance of failure if this is true to second edition rules, which I hated. I hated those rules, which is why I manipulated the hell out of my version of the game. But it's too late. It's not too late. That's not an option. We don't. This is the standard bog standard Dungeons and Dragons second edition that we're playing with here. So we're stuck with that rule. In any case, well, this is going to make level 4 particularly dangerous, or rather reloady on us, given the horrible giant spiders that are waiting for us there. But I believe in you, heroes. So we'll have to hope that my skillful fingers are powerful enough to get us through that level without you dying horribly. I intend to bring this group with me as we go forward through all of the Eye in the Beholder games, 1 through 3. We will get access to other characters in this series as NPCs, and I remember those characters being quite good with amazing looking portraits. I remember some character named Cassandra. She was really cute, and there was a blonde-haired elf girl that was a fighter mage, and she was cute too. And I like taking them with me because I like their class combos and their unique portraits. But we're going all bros this time with this adventuring party, and no other NPCs will be taken with me when we go from Game 1 to Game 2, or from Game 2 to Game 3. A heads up as well that I never played Game 3, like at all. And the last time I played Game 2 was many, many, many years ago. But I should probably stop talking about those, because it's going to be quite some time until we actually get to those games. The final rule, I am totally allowed to use my maps. God, how on earth would I survive without this? I have no clue. It would be really painful to watch me get lost, and really slow to watch me make my own maps as we play. Now, that said, I don't have any maps for the second or third game. I am willing to play the games without a map, but I would also like your feedback now on if I should be allowed to pull up the internet to help guide me through those levels in the future. The internet will have a lot more information than my maps have, which is why I'm hesitant to do it, but it would make the game less awful. Right, not the game, the Let's Play probably less awful if I had some help along the way. But if you guys like no tip, please don't do that. That's a little too cheaty. I mean, and I'm not going to use it like an FAQ. I would only pull up the maps if I get lost or something of the sort. But if that's too much, we'll go through those without them. But again, I'm getting way ahead of ourselves. We have to first beat this game. So with that said, let's get started doing that. Oh my god, I'm so excited. All right. Oh, you're kidding me. Okay, so this is super awkward, and I need to save the game. I need to save the game, and I immediately need to see if I can remap my controls, because my keyboard is not a numpad keyboard. It's a really shortened. My keyboard doesn't have a numpad on it. It's a really small light-up keyboard. And I've got the arrow keys, but it's only up, down, left, and right. So if I can't pivot via keyboard, this game gets a lot tougher. It gets a lot tougher. So let me first go here and save the game. And I don't see an option here to readjust my controls. So let me see really quick if it exists. Because if it doesn't, this has got a lot tougher. Alright, I'll be right back. Oh my god, game, please tell me I can remap the controls. Hey everyone, good morning. Alright, I've got this working. Thank you very much, Iwa Akai. God, I hope I got your name right. Or your handle right, on the GOG forums. If you ever find this video, which I am never expecting you to do, for providing a solution for my issues of the game controls. He has a link up on the GOG forums to a script he made which works with a program called AutoHotkey that I had to download. AutoHotkey allows you, through a script, to remap certain controls, certain keys, to other keys. There is no way to configure or remap controls in the game. And from what I can tell, based on the GOG forums, there's no easy way to do this through the DOSBox configuration either. Some people had some trouble getting even that to work. So his solution works for me, and it's great. It remaps my QWE and ASD keys to match what you see down here for character facing, or party facing, and movement. My Q and E keys are turning, and WASD are my movement for the game. Without this solution, there instead would have been a 30-minute video apologizing as to why we can't play Eye of the Beholder. Now, I wasted everyone's time asking for adventurers, because it would have been really painful for me to attempt to use my mouse to both move and to control our characters in combat, like make them attack. I think as I was mentioning, this is taking way too long, but I feel like I need to explain it. My keyboard doesn't have a numpad on it, so I don't have access to a turn left and turn right key on my keyboard, so I can't do those things, which is very frustrating in a game like this where you need to turn. And I can't really use my mouse to do this as effectively in combat, because to attack in combat, I need to move my cursor over the equipment my characters are going to use in order to attack with it by hitting the right mouse button. If I had to manage to do this and to somehow come down here to control our characters facing, this would have been a real nightmare. We wish we just would have had the stand and tank creatures. And the whole point of a game like this is to avoid doing that very thing. So thank you again, Iway Akai, for that solution. Next, before we begin talking about what we see on screen, because I do want to summarize how to play the game, because I know a few of you have never seen this game before. I am reshooting this dungeon level. So a heads up that I'm getting a lot of work done on the house. I know none of you care, but I feel like I need to explain why I had to reshoot this. And the workers arrive here early in the morning to begin that process, which is great. That's what I want. But the bad news is that I didn't get as much sleep because of this, and nor will I be for the next few days, as they show up around 7:30 in the morning or 8 o'clock to begin working. And I go to bed around 1 or 2 in the morning. But this also meant that I deleted the entire recording of this dungeon level this morning. So this is super awkward, because now I have to reshoot this dungeon level again. The good news is that I now am very familiar with this dungeon level, having not played it for a while. The bad news is I really wish I could have done the entire thing from scratch. The good news, though, is that I can still explain how amazing my memory is for certain things in this game that I did remember, so I'll be able to really impress you guys with one particular secret on this dungeon floor. Alright, anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the game systems for a bit, because, again, I know some of you have never seen this game or played it. I can't believe it, how old I am compared to some of you viewers. But, well, comes with the territory of being a gamer who's almost 50 years old, I suppose. So, let's talk about our character's equipment screen to start. Actually, no, let's talk about this screen to start. So, obviously, this is what our characters are seeing. The compass down here shows us the direction we are facing as well. This, normally, through your mouse, would let you turn left, turn right, move up, move back, strafe to the left, strafe to the right. You can interact with things on the screen by left-clicking to pick things up, for example. You can even throw things on the screen by moving the thing that you pick up, as long as that's replacing your cursor. You can throw it by releasing it up in the upper section of the screen. We just heard it collide with something in the background there. You put things in your character's inventory by clicking them, and then clicking on a character portrait, and you can place them in your character's inventory. The compass shows the direction you are facing. Camping brings you to where almost all the other options are in the game when it comes to saving, reloading, selecting spells you want to your characters, who's our spellcasters, to know, how you can give spells to mages who don't have them in their spell book, what your preferences will be, and how you save and load the game is here in game options. This is also where you drop characters from your party if you don't want to have them with you any longer. This is useful if you have a max party and you want to get a new NPC in your group. In case I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, let's go ahead and look at our characters' sheets here, and we'll explain how this works really quick. Everything over here on the left is your character's backpack. You can put whatever you want in it, but every single thing takes up one space. Sometimes equipment can be stacked. Nope, I'm lying to you. It can't be stacked. Everything is single space. So a single arrow takes up a space in your backpack, as would a suit of chainmail, as would each individual rock that you pick up. Arrows and bolts that you find, though, can be placed inside your character's quiver here. This shows the number of them. You cannot mix and match bolts and quivers into the same bolts and arrows into a quiver, though. You have to choose one or the other. Chest armor is placed here. This is where gloves or bracers are placed, things that you wear on your wrist or cover your hands. Your melee weapon, your main melee weapon, is placed in your character's right hand. The ragdoll here is facing us. Ring slots, you get 2 rings. Offhand item in your left hand. Every character is right-handed in this game. Weapons placed here. If it's a 2-handed weapon, you won't be able to use it. 2-handed weapons must be placed in this slot. Characters can dual wield. I do not think there is any penalty for dual wielding in this game. This is where your foot items go, boots of some sort, or sandals, I suppose. This is your belt slot. If the weapon you have in your main hand is a ranged weapon, like a dagger, you will throw it if you right-click on it. If your character had another item on their belt, after you throw an item, they will replace the item that they had thrown with an item on your belt. You will see that very shortly. This is for a neck slot, like a amulet. This is for a head slot, that's like a helmet. If you want to eat food, you click on a ration, your iron rations or standard rations or what have you, and then you drag it over this and left click. Your character will make the awesome eat food noise, which is so surreal, and then their meter is filled a little more, depending upon the type of food that you have eaten. That's all for this slot here. Clicking on this page tab will let you go ahead and look at the character's statistics instead, showing the numbers that they have for their stats, what their current armor class is, lower is better, what level they are of the various classes that they might have, and how much experience they have total in those classes. This is kind of a shame. I wish there was a way for me to see how much experience points I need until I level up, but I remember enough about 2nd edition that I could tell you probably pretty accurately how much experience points we need to gain up to level 5 for all these character classes, if not level 6 to start. Let's next cover spells, but first I'm going to reload the game. I guess I should explain this as well. So you get 1 save slot in Eye of the Beholder. That's it! That is it. So I had to recreate all of you guys here before I began playing recording this episode again, since I lost the prior episode from last night. In any case, you only get 1 save slot, so keep that in mind. So every time you save, you're saying, I'm fine with the situation as it's currently unfolding. Hopefully no one's dead when you save that game, because and you only get to reload from that singular save slot as well. The game doesn't make multiple saves. You can't have multiple adventuring groups playing through the game either. Unless, I guess, you go and grab that save slot, that save file, copy it someplace else, and then you have to manually juggle save slots, but we won't be doing that in this game. The way spells work in this game is that your spellcasters can cast any of the spells that they have memorized, or, well, I say memorized. Mages memorize spells from their spell books. Clerics pray for spells, but I'm going to use memorized spells in order for the same thing, which is spells that you have selected, rested, and then your character knows. Clerics pray for spells. mages memorize spells, but I'm going to use the word memorize to include both. The game makes this distinction since cleric spells are different than mage spells. So if we want to pray for spells, and we do, we then want to select one of our clerics, Rokvas or Alexander. In the case of Alexander, so we get to go ahead and choose from amongst any of the clerical spells that he has access to. Clerics in this game all have access to any of the spells that all clerics in this game have access to, as long as they are of the appropriate level to be able to access them. That's a really complicated way to say that all clerics in this game have access to the same exact spells. There is no specific god in this case, or I suppose all clerics in this world, no matter their alignment, pray to the same god and gain access to the same spells. There's no difference between the types of clerics that you play in this game world. So in this case, we can see all the first level spells that will forever be available to our clerics in this game. So to memorize a spell, you just left click on it and you add a value, the number of times you want to be able to cast a spell, over here. If you do not have the spell memorized, which is to say that we haven't clicked on a number and then rested to get that number of that spell, your character cannot cast it. After they have cast that spell, the number of times they can cast that spell is decreased by 1, and to replenish them, they will have to rest again. So let's show you how this works. So I've selected 2 blesses, 2 cure light wounds, and now I will rest. After 8 hours, my character will begin to pick up the spells that I have asked him to pray for. And then I can right-click on his holy symbol to show the spells that he has access to. The spells that he has memorized is what I'm going to call it. To cast a spell, I just select it. And there we go. If the spell had a target, I will also need to select a target. This is being done in real time, by the way, and I can't move while I'm casting a spell. So keep that in mind as we're playing. So this is going to be quite complicated to try to have me juggle spells while combat's ongoing. Remember, this is also not a turn-based game. This is a time-based game. So as I'm fiddling with spells and going through my spell book and lists, the enemy is moving and attacking us. So it can take quite a bit of work to try casting a spell and be fighting things off at the same time. In any case, those spells are gone. To get them back again, I would have to camp and then rest. If I want to have my character memorize different spells, I would have to select him, clear the spell rank from this screen, and then reassign the spells I want him to memorize. Clearing his spells, though, also makes him forget any of the spells that he did not cast. They'll be reduced to 0 in this case, and he loses them. So if I was to exit this right now, he doesn't have any spells except for that singular bless I just had selected, and the only reason he has this is because he rested. All the other ones are gone. So, in other words, you only want to clear your spells when you're about to rest, and hopefully you have cast most of them. This way you don't just have to drop them off, because you can be ambushed while you're sleeping if you haven't cleared the enemies off the level. Oh, and of course, assuming that they haven't respawned. I think there is some respawning that happens in this game, but it's not very frequent. Anyway, that's how the clerics work. For the mages, it's memorized spells. Now, they work a little differently. Mages, all the mages in the game start with access to the same types of spells, assuming they were of a certain level. Rokvas and Kokor Hex are level 2, so they have access to these spells and a Melf's Acid Arrow. I think if they were level 3, you might see a Fireball, I think, that they have in their spell book here. But I can't remember if that's the case as well. Mages can only memorize spells that they have in their spell book, and they can only add spells to their spell book as we find them through scrolls. We will have to choose which of these characters will get access to certain spells, because I don't think there's enough scrolls to go around when it comes to running 2 mages, but we'll do the best we can. So right now, both Rokvas and Kokor Hex have access to these mage spells. Works the same exact way otherwise. You would select spells, exit, rest, and Rokvas would memorize those 2 magic missile spells. We'd also give him, for example, a few other spells, and rest. And at the end of this, Rokvas would get access to all those spells. Now, the resting works for all the group, so there's no reason why you shouldn't have everyone pray and memorize spells, because after 8 hours, they will all each individually begin to pick up those spells that you had selected from your spell books or that you're asking your god to provide you with. Let's very quickly also cover the spells so that you guys know what they do. So, actually, I guess what we'll do as well is I'll reload the game because we are resting, so hours are being spent resting, and that is taking away time that we have because our characters are going to, well, our characters get hungry as time elapses, and so the time I'm resting to explain how the systems work is time that could be spent actually not getting more hungry, as it were. God, I'm doing an awful job explaining this. All right, so let's go ahead now and talk about the spells that we have access to. Bless affects the whole entire party. Does not require targeting. Everyone who is so blessed gets a +1 to hit the enemies. I think a +1 to the damage that they deal with their attacks, and a +1 to their saving throws. So they have a slightly better chance to hit, do slightly more damage, and they can avoid some hostile effects slightly better. It lasts a bit, and so Bless is, and because it doesn't require any targeting, you're going to see me casting Bless a lot as we go through this game. Let's give Alexander 2 Bless spells to start. Cure Light Wounds heals a target 1 through 8 hit points. This is the only heal spell that we will have access to until our characters reach level 7. That is quite some time away for our 2 clerics, since I multi-class them. Hopefully, they will reach level 7 at some point in this adventure, but they might not, depending upon how well or how poorly we do. In any case, it's really slow to heal in this game, because we only get access to this spell. It's one of the reasons I hated 2nd edition Dungeons & Dragons, is how the spell works. Oh yes, and you will notice as well, that to gain any spells, we have to rest 8 hours. That's so stupid. I came up with my own mana system, and gods were a bit more lenient with when they gave out spells in my 2nd edition Dungeons & Dragons rules, but we are forced to play with the bog standard 2nd edition rules, which was just awful for memorizing spells. I can't believe the party would have to sit around and just wait 8 hours until the cleric and mage would have spells memorized. This is so weird that it works that way. Cause Light Wounds works like Cure Light Wounds, only it causes D8 damage. Generally, you're going to be casting this on an enemy, not your friends, obviously. But you also have to touch the enemy. So I will almost never be deciding to take Cause Light Wounds. Detect Magic shows if an item that our characters possess is magical. It does not tell you what the enchantment is, though. Only that it is so enchanted. Protection from Evil makes it harder for enemies to hit you if the creature itself is evil. I think it lowers your armor class by 4 against its attacks, and also gives you a +2 to all saving throws of those creatures might make. But I think if you attack the enemy, I think it ignores that effect. I can't remember if it works that way, so I'll have to look it up between episodes. In any case, Alexander, being my front rank, I don't really want him to be casting too many Cure Light Wound spells. We're going to give him 2 Blesses, a Detect Magic. Actually, we'll give him a 3rd Bless as well. Now, normally, a cleric would gain only 2 first-level spells, but we gain extra clerical spells because of our high Wisdom score. A 13 Wisdom gives you 1 extra first-level spell. 14 is 2 first-level spells. 15 is 1 free second-level spell, which we don't have access to yet, so we don't get any of these. Level 16 is 2 extra second-level spells. 17 Wisdom gives you 1 third-level extra spell, and 18 Wisdom gives us 1 extra 4th-level spell for our clerics. Rokvas is likely to be the one who is healing us as we take damage, so we're going to grab 4 Cure Light Wound spells with him. Alright, now let's memorize spells. We'll talk about the mage spells that we see really quick. We know what Detect Magic does for our mages. I've already said that. Since we have clerics in the group, I'm going to give them the Detect Magic options and not our mages. Magic Missile does 2 through 5 points of magic damage to a target. That's it. Not very much. But every other level, it goes up by 2 through 5 damage until you hit level 9, at which point it's maxed out. So at level 3, this will do 4 through 10 damage. And at level 5, it will do 6 through 15 damage, for example. In Dungeons and Dragons, normally, you could have your magic missiles attack separate targets, with each target you select taking one of the missiles for 2 through 5 damage. But that's not the case here. It will hit a single target for that 2 through 5 damage, with the increase applying to the same target. Shield, I think, lowers your armor class to 2? As long as you're not wearing any other type of armor, and or not using anything magical. It also gives you a chance to resist magic missile spells cast at you, if I recall correctly. Shocking Grasp, it will enchant your hand to do electrical damage once, and it will deal 1 through 8 plus 1 damage per level of the spellcaster. As with Cause Light Wounds, you must touch the target, so you will likely never see me take this spell. This means that the only spell you will probably ever see my mages cast from first level is Magic Missile. So let's go ahead and grab that for Rokvas. And we'll do the same thing for Kokor Hekis. Now, rest of the party to gain access to those spells. Cool. Now everyone has them. And now, I'm going to cut this part off so I never have to explain this stuff again. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Hey guys, good morning. I didn't sleep at all. I've been up for now like 26 hours. I don't think my body's going to actually let me sleep till this evening. And it is currently 7:32 in the morning. If I don't get this part recorded today, we're not going to have a Eye of the Beholder this weekend. Today is June 4th, 2022, and man, I really want to get this series started. So we're going to finish this first dungeon level together, and then we'll wrap up the video, because it turns out I've also been playing for like 50 minutes already. What the heck? It took so flippin' long for me to make everybody and then explain some of the rules. Alright, so I thought it might be fun to think about why this group was hired and why they were chosen to come into the sewer system here. And we try to come up with some lore for these guys, like some background information about them, why they decided to volunteer to head into the sewer system to deal with the evils that were down here. So first off, I like to imagine that the Lords of Waterdeep are not all good guys, which is probably accurate. I'm not very familiar with the Forgotten Realms lore at all. I know a few of the names, but that's it. I don't know what they're capable of, or how powerful some of them are, or something of that sort. I know that Undermountain, I believe, is under Waterdeep, if I recall correctly. I think that's accurate. And I know this is the campaign setting that has Elemenster in it, I think, if I recall, right? Does that mean Vecna is in this one too, or was that a different campaign setting? Was that Greyhawk? Man, I can't remember. But in any case, I like to think that the Lords of Waterdeep kind of drew lots to see which of these folks would be together. And this adventuring group has not met each other or adventured together before. I suppose they probably met after they were chosen and presented themselves, as we saw in the cutscene, and got to know a little bit about what each other's strengths and weaknesses were. And the Lords of Waterdeep did something similar to what I had done, in that they had decided to put people into different categories and then draw lots at that point to determine which of these people would be coming along. But these adventurers, they're not really armed with the best equipment to do any sort of repelling the great evil or whatever sinister plot is ongoing here. In fact, we can read a little bit about that by looking at this piece of paper here. Commissioned Letter of Marque. This document is a binding commission of the service to the Lords and Sovereign City of Waterdeep. The bearers of this document are agents of the Lords of Waterdeep and are granted full rights of passage beneath the city of Waterdeep. It's like saying Waterdeep a lot. Any who would dare interfere risk the full penalty of our wrath. Information has been presented to us that there is a plot afoot in our city. There are probably lots of plots afoot in Waterdeep. Evidence points to the sewers that run beneath Waterdeep. We have no information about the exact nature of the threat, but we feel that the urgency is grave. We commission you to find the nature of the danger and destroy it if you are able. You are granted full rights of marque. All treasures, artifacts, or other valuables are yours by right to conquest. This writ is made legal and binding by our marque on this 5th day of the Marpanoth in the Year of Shadows. Kind of a vague task for us. I'm going to read it one more time. Where is the danger? The sewers that run beneath Waterdeep. It doesn't say, actually, we have to proceed. So, having beaten this game, I know there's a lot more to these dungeons that we're going to be effectively... Well, dungeons is probably the wrong word for what our adventurers think they're going into, right? This is just a sewer system. Now, granted, it's Dungeons and Dragons, so of course it's filled with horrible monsters, and of course it's a huge area you can walk around in, and creatures can set up shop down there and live down here and all sorts of other stuff. But realistically, it's just it's part of the municipal utilities of Waterdeep. And so, the piss goes in, gets washed out somewhere. And, well, quite frankly, I see nothing in this also about going down below the sewer system. So, I would imagine they don't really have to do that. Although, we're going to end up needing to do that because there's no way out of the sewer system, apparently, once you're in it. This place was rather poorly designed. This was the only entrance and potential exit out of the sewers? I don't know how I feel about that. Ooh. Alright, first enemy, and Scavvy slaughtered it. Didn't have a chance to show you how combat actually works in the game here. Alright, well, it's dead. Fantastic work. It was probably a bad guy, not like a halfling trying to flee the sewer system. Oh, see, it couldn't have been. We already had halfling bones here on the ground. Let's keep these. Oh, and I don't think I prayed for spells yet, did I? I did. Okay, perfect. All right, well then, let's keep adventuring. Oh, what the heck? We're being spied upon here. Something scary is deeper into the floor drain. Uh-oh. Looks like the Union has some people in here making sure that their workers are working full-time in the sewer system. Actually, I really like this. It looks like this scum here. I can only imagine what this guck actually would be in a sewer. Actually, I can't imagine I could say it, but I've already mentioned the word piss at least once. Is caked onto the lower sections of the wall. Makes it seem like this used to be water. Or the water level was up to here, probably up to our knees or upper shins in this sewer system at some point. Ugh, nasty. So, my guess is because our adventurers are not very well outfitted for this, that they were probably down on their luck, and most likely lowest bidder, as it were, which is who the Lords of Waterdeep had to choose from, and was probably chosen as well because I'm guessing, as I wanted to say, but then didn't, there's probably some people on that console, or in the government here, who don't really want any group going down here to succeed at their task of stopping whatever plot is happening down here. Now, I myself am unfamiliar with what the plot is. I think we might be told what the plot is at some point. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. I know that there is a beholder waiting for us at the very bottom of this game as a final boss. And a beholder is an absolutely awful creature if you're unfamiliar with what that thing is in Dungeons and Dragons. We will talk about it briefly when we finally see it. And hopefully, indeed, briefly, because hopefully we'll be able to kill it somehow very quickly. But I don't remember. What's its name? Xanthias or something like that? I don't remember it being an easy kill. Kobolds are what these things are. So, as you can see, monsters will move up, and we can attack them. And we can miss a lot, too. So, your party swings at things that are directly in front of them. Alexander is going to swing at things that are in the front right rank. If there is only one creature present, though, he will swing at... he will swing at whatever he can reach. And the enemy has different formations as well. We're missing a whole lot. has different formations as well. And so maybe Alexander swung at this target because he was in the front rank and the other one was in the back rank there. Because I refuse to believe the game's going to make me a liar. Anyway, as you can see, the game is not turn-based, it is time-based. So you have to do all this in real time. Mage Scroll of Detect Magic, not particularly useful. Another dagger. Kokor Hekis will be the one throwing daggers for the most part in this adventure until we find a bow for him. Even then, we should realistically probably continue to throw daggers throughout the adventure, because a bow's going to be two-handed. We'll cover two-handed weapons when we actually find two-handed weapon. That was a switch in the ground. Some switches can be depressed by placing anything on top of them. This is not such a switch. This one opens doors when you step on them. See? Can't imagine why this is here. Like the sewer workers would get trapped in this section if they stepped on that, which hints that this is not that the sewer workers probably never really went in here beyond when it was first constructed. These are normal rations, and these are iron rations. Iron rations, I believe, fill you more than standard rations do when it comes to the amount of food recovered. Yeah, Scout doesn't even have a shield. My goodness, what the heck? Lowest bidder indeed. Oh, I mean, if we do win, that's fantastic. That's a giant leech. We do not want to get bitten by sewer leeches. I would like to hit them, though. And it just occurs to me we're probably very close to leveling, aren't we? We are. Okay. So let's save the game already. I'm going to try not to save so often, but in the beginning portions of this Let's Play, I will be saving often because I want to farm for hit points. Speaking of hit points, we don't see them here. So why don't we turn off the bar... So I generally prefer the bar graphs. It tells me how much I have to panic about who's dying rather than hit points. But hit points are also useful to see because if we level, I want to see how many hit points we gain. Your characters will not automatically pick up items on the ground. Nice. Good hit, Scavvy. Nice miss, Alexander. Oh, it got to attack me. You can swap the positions of people in your party by right-clicking on their name and then click on the person you want them to swap to, by the way. Good job, guys. I wonder... So, gameplay-wise, really quick, I remember, again, tanking everything when I was young and refusing to move around to avoid things. I think I had been too invested in Legacy of the Ancients and Legend of Black Silver, which is a turn-based version of this, in a way. Well, only with you being only one person as opposed to a party. Rokvus looks like he gained 3 hit points, and Alexander looks like he gained 5. I would really have liked Rokvus to gain more than 3. But he's going to have less hit points than Alexander because of his mage levels. I guess this will be an acceptable start. Right? Alexander gained 5. Did I talk about hit points on our characters? I don't know if I did. I don't think I did. Maybe I did. So, our characters are going to gain... Our clerics, for example, which is Alexander and Rokvus, would normally be gaining 1 through 8 plus 2 hit points when they leveled. So, 3 through 10. So a 5 is not a very good roll for Alexander. For Rokvus, he would gain 2 through 9 hit points instead of 3 through 10 because he has 1 less constitution, 15 hit points as opposed to 16. However, because they're a dual class, they take whatever they rolled for hit points and they divide it by 2 because that's the number of classes that they have here. So that Rokvus gained 3 hit points means that he rolled a 6. Oh, that would mean that Alexander rolled the highest number he could have rolled as well. Yeah, you know what? We'll keep this result. And let's push on. Actually, Volkvis gained only 3 hit points to him. He rolled a 2. That's a 4. That's average. Or less than average. That's no. You round down as well when it comes to the hit points that your characters earn. You know what? We haven't cast any bless spells yet. Why don't we do that as well? I see you guys. Oh, we're not moving up. We're missing, like, a lot. Take that, kobold. All right. And some scrolls. They were guarding these, apparently, because they refused to leave this little area. A mage scroll of armor. If ever we're going to have a mage on the front line, this would be a useful spell for them to have. And a clear scroll of bless. Not the most useful thing to have. I guess for Rokvos we can give this to you as well. Now there's a secret here, by the way, that I remember from an age ago. If you put a dagger in this alcove, you will get a special dagger back. Only once, if I recall correctly. And we get Guinsu, which I think is a +3 weapon. A dagger normally inflicts 1 through 4 points of damage. A +3 dagger, which is what I think this is, will inflict, is that 4 through 7 points of damage? The bonus, the +3, also applies to its chance to hit the target. Higher numbers are better for 2nd edition Dungeons and Dragons. We haven't been that way yet. I don't think we were down this way yet either, were we? We were not. Oops. I hate when I click on their faces instead of on the weapon. That's right, Scabby can punch as well. We totally should be having him do that. There's no reason why we can't. Can Rokvos throw daggers? He can! Okay, well then we'll have him throw daggers also. This way we don't have to use magic missiles. Magic missiles are guaranteed hits, assuming that the enemy does not walk through your magic missiles. Quite a few daggers, actually, in this place. Is that it? This slimy, smelly drain pipe reveals nothing. I suppose no one in the adventure group wants to stick their hand in it. I'm pretty sure... I'm about to say, I'm pretty sure we've been here before, but that is not the case because we have enemies. Oh! This guy took a hit. And I missed a spell. I cast a spell for no reason. Nothing there. I panicked. What is this? Pool of Radiance? Why am I missing, like, over 50%? Well, this is Dungeons & Dragons 2nd edition. And these characters don't have 1800s in strength. So, of course, Tim, they're going to miss. It's what you do if you don't roll very extraordinarily high when you make a character in this game. Like, well, good job, team. Go ahead and put the daggers back. Holy crap, we have a ton of daggers. It's wonderful in a way. We have more daggers than we know what to do with. Go open up a dagger shop when we're all done with this adventure. Who doesn't have sewer food? Gorakis, yes, we're going to eat the food that has been on this scum-infested floor. Yes, absolutely. Like a 3-decade rule when it comes to being able to pick up food. And this has to be... you have to put something on here to keep it depressed. I'm never going to use this mage scroll to detect magic, so we'll just leave this here to keep this door open. Believe it or not, I'd rather have a stone than that scroll. Because we'll get a sling at some point. And maybe we'll have Rokvos use that weapon. Ah, Yes, so this is why you see me also scouring the walls, because I'm looking for something like this. A secret brick. But we've been here before. That does make me think there's another secret brick. If my map is telling me the truth, over in this area. Now, because the kobolds are both on the right-hand side, if Rufus throws a dagger, he misses. Good punch for Scabby. I like to think he grabbed it by the neck and snapped it. He does have a very super high strength. My God. The daggers. So many. This is wonderful. It smells terrible here. Yeah. Oh yeah, I meant to talk. I mentioned earlier that like this place wasn't designed very well. Not very many ways out of here. Looks like this might be a spot where actually I guess there's an upper sewer drains into this lower sewer system. With this many daggers, we could give some daggers to Scabby to use in his offhand. He won't wield the daggers as a weapon like that he's holding on to. He will throw these in this hand, but it gives me lots of options, I suppose. I don't think... Oh, you know what? I bet you Alexander can also hold daggers because he's part fighter. He can. Everyone could be... This could be just a dagger-throwing adventuring group. Everyone just throws daggers all day long. Everything that moves in the sewer system. Why don't we... Oh, this is somewhat annoying, though. To cast a spell, I actually have to do it this way. If I want to cast a cleric spell. I don't know if I really want to do that. That's a lot of work. Well, Wolfus's clerical spells are going to be mostly healing spells. More slugs. I saw you, slug. Let's get another bless. Good to see we're getting rid of all those 2s and 1s right now, guys. That's great. Get rid of those rolls. We don't want to see those low rolls. The way down. Okay, and this switch doesn't open that anymore. Look at the sneaky leech. That is, I don't know why I swung at it like that. Good hit. Good hit again. Rufus, why did I put this in your hand? Let's do that. And we should always be using this dagger. Should be the first we throw. It does the most damage. We hear something else slithering, so I don't think we're quite done. There it is. There it is. Good job, guys. And I think that must have been the plot. A plot of kobolds with their slug friends looking to overthrow the Lords of Waterdeep. Thankfully, they never got a chance to do anything close to that. Who wants the shield? I guess we're giving it to you, Scabby, after all. I guess you're not throwing daggers. And this is a place I think we've been before as well. Yes. This was near the entrance. Okay, so that's just this little passage left. We need to put something on the ground here to stop this from shutting on us. But before we do that, let's cast a detect magic spell. Things that are magical will now have a slightly blue tint to it, like this dagger. This also tells me that none of the other daggers we've picked up are magical in any way. And we'll just leave that dart there. And I think we're going to get copy protection here. So let's see if that's accurate. It is. Oh, but I know what this is. This is Mystic. Because when I was recording this earlier... Oh, this showed up. I have to actually go and deactivate. There we go. My script. And everyone, we made it to level 2, so I think this is a good place to stop. Not much adventuring done in this video, but we'll make up for it in the rest of the series. Well, we're not going to be doing a whole lot of talking about systems or creating other characters. We will just be playing the game. So hope you guys will stick around for that, and I will look forward to seeing you then if you guys do, hang out with me. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everyone.